He was shot and killed yesterday, I believe, and he was on stage apparently, and someone shot him. And I mean, this is obviously tragic. I'm not a fan of Charlie Kirk. As you can imagine, but some things like this should never ever happen. And I think also there is reason to worry concerning more violence in the USA. Some people are talking about civil war. Is civil war next? Because the political climate in the USA is extremely it's very tense at the moment, and it has been for a long time. And I mean, you have to. Okay, so I'll say something here that a lot of people will not want to hear, but I'll just say it. You have in the USA you have a combination of lacking in the mental health care. There's a lack of mental health care. Lots of guns. Lots of drugs. A very liberal view on drugs, and also a move towards more extreme religious dogma. That combination is not healthy. So obviously, it's like it doesn't help when you have people on the far left who are now joking about this, saying that this is funny and so on. Apparently there was a Norwegian far left politician. Sorry that I look very tired. I'm in a hotel room. I'm on a tour, like speaking on the stage about my upcoming novel here in Norway. So yeah, that I just woke up and I saw this. So this politician here in Norway, she joked about. Well, she said something that, oh, this is so sad, haha, something like that. And apparently because Charlie Kirk had said something that the price to pay for the freedom to have guns is that someone will occasionally get killed, something along those lines, and now he gets killed. It's disgusting when people joke about this. People need to understand that this was a man with a family and people who loved him, and all of that. So it doesn't help. So I mean, that in itself creates even more tension, and people will now. I suppose I'll see it in the chat as well. They will be pointing at the left, and it's all the left's fault and all of that. I think if anything is to be learned from this, there's a lot to be learned from this. But one thing that the left or anyone should learn from this is that there is no difference when it comes to the use of violence like this when it comes to the left or right. There is no difference. And it's okay. So I'll try to gather myself a little bit here. So what could happen now, okay, is that people will feel that they have the right to act in a violent way towards those on the left, like in the USA you call them the liberals, I think, when they have their protests and all of that, that can create a response from those people who feel attacked, and they will maybe then fight back. And I do not think that we all seen these memes, you have some typical fat blue-haired nose-ring people, and they are holding a gun or learning to fight, things like that, which is yeah, we can all laugh about that, but the left will be completely what's the word, able to fight back. Yeah. So what happens then? Well, then you have a civil war. So you have the extreme groups on the left and the right fighting, and then you have all the normal people caught in the crossfire, So I'm going to say that, the USA is a country where the extremes get a lot of attention. You guys are not like that, but you are not listened to. I'm not listened to. Now, I'm not in the USA, but I do feel that I'm quite a moderate person. But they don't want to listen to us. The ones that get the attention on social media and so on, that's the ones who scream in the streets, the nose ring people. And then you have the Bible thumpers on the other side. And they will never agree. They will never find common ground. But it shouldn't be like that, because those people are all crazy, Instead, those who should be listened to are those who have a life, families, jobs, kids, someone who have no problem with, let's say, if you're in the USA, you voted Republican, your neighbor voted Democrat, but you don't have a problem with that. You go to a barbecue together, and it's like, it's so strange to imagine here in Norway. Now, we just had the election here. I voted to the right, the Progressive Party. That's what it's called. It sounds very leftist, but it's not. It's on the right. So I voted for them mainly because of the tax reasons. But it's so odd. Should I not then want to be social? I'm not a very social person, to be honest with you, but should I not want to be social with someone who voted for the Labour Party? I mean, that's insane if you think about it. So yeah, someone's saying in there in the chat, well, you shouldn't vote. Yeah, I have on some occasions I did not vote, because I think they're all bastards. But this occasion, this is off topic, but they need to change the taxes here, reduce the taxes, and change the tax system in Norway, because it's killing businesses. So that's why I voted, because it was very close and they almost made it the right side. We could have had a coalition, but no, sadly the left won. So yeah, not going anywhere the next 4 years because of they will keep up the exit tax. Isn't that nice? So, but back to the topic. What now? Please be respectful in the chat, people. Please be respectful in the chat. Now I don't know so much about Charlie Kirk. What I have seen, I strongly disagree with about the things that he said. I strongly disagree with that. Yeah. Yeah, I do disagree with him being a standard conservative, not even by American standards. I strongly disagree with that. It's not so much that I don't want to speak badly about the dead, but I think that whether you're on the left or right or whatever you are, if you go to colleges as a grown man with all your arguments prepared, and then you take questions from kids and you win the debate and you crush them, and then you have social media videos. So Charlie Kirk crushes college student. I do not think that's an honorable way to make a living. Maybe that's just me, you know. So yeah, I would prepare for hard times if I was in the USA. Well, I think we all should. So there is, this idea of being a prepper, which I think is a good idea. By that I mean focus on surviving through hard times. The most likely scenario is that you lose your job, you lose your income. So prepare for that. Stock up on food, water. If you need medicine, stock up on that. So that you can last through, let's say, 6 months without buying anything. Now, I don't know your situation with your housing. Are you renting somewhere? I don't know, but please prepare for hard times. And I would also stay away from the cities if I could. The gun situation. If I was in the USA, maybe my answer would be different. I do think that it would be sensible to have a gun and enough ammunition so that you can get out of a situation if you're threatened and so on. But I don't think that the typical doomsday prepper with 100 guns and a room full of ammunition, that's not a sensible way to spend your money if you're a prepper, I believe. And I believe that getting out of a situation, a place with a lot of conflict, would be the way to go, and for that you might need a gun. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say that get a gun. I'm not going to sit here and say that, especially not now. Okay? All I'm saying is that prepare for very hard times. Okay. Um, and I think this is not the time to again speak badly about Charlie Kirk. I think that's not something I want to be accused of. I mean, it's just people. I see a lot of comments in the chat about that. You know, very negative comments about Charlie Kirk, and I understand, but please, the timing is not right. I don't think it's okay to do that. Someone just killed. Please be respectful. Don't use Kirk for clout if you don't want to discuss him. Listen, please understand that I'm not going to discuss the good and bad about Charlie Kirk. He was just killed. This should be easy to understand. And I believe that the assassination is tragic. Of course it is. It is tragic. It should never happen. But the real question here is not whether that was okay or not, because it was not. But the real question here is what happens next, you know? So some people are saying civil war is next in the USA. I don't know. If a civil war happens, it will not be announced. That's the thing. So you won't have any officials saying, "Oh, we are in a civil war now." Well, they might say it, but that's not very likely. It will be a what's a sliding slope? What's the term? It's going to just deteriorate more and more, and you will have different groups fighting. It won't be two groups fighting each other, and I think that's like a very American idea because of the American Civil War, but that's not usually how it happens. Instead, you know, you have several groups all fighting each other, or you know, forming alliances that can be broken and so on. I think that's a much more likely scenario in the USA, and it will start, and especially because you have so many, I mean, on the right, you have so many very different Christian groups. And it's going to, I mean, I don't know, when do you have a civil war? How do you define it? I don't know. So, yeah, someone here is saying the MAGA slogan is not happening. Make America great again. Yeah, sadly, that is, it seems like, I'm not there, obviously, but it seems like that's not what's happening. So, Christian says war is never the answer. Yeah, it shouldn't be the answer. Someone says you're off the rails on this one, Bjorn. Why? What is wrong about what I'm saying here? What is wrong? Laura, yeah, doing well. I'm in a city. I'm on a author tour, doing stage speeches. Yeah, about my upcoming novel here in Norway. I didn't sleep so well. I'm on the ninth floor, which I hate. It's not natural. Let's see if I can. Oh, I see what's happening. Usually it's only the subscribers who can come here and comment. But now I didn't check that box, and now we have every fucking idiot on the internet coming here. Yeah. Okay. So, and some of them are here. Some of those idiots are here. Sorry, not sorry. But I'm seeing some comments here. If you don't, I've said it already. I won't say it again. Tribus says you're not wrong. Thank you, but also I hope I'm wrong about the Civil War thing. Carola says something about losing their empathy. Yeah. Yeah, I heard about the murder of Irina in the subway. Yeah, I did. Let's see. Yeah, cat. Yeah. I think that's I have this. I hate this device. It's a smartphone. I'm using a smartphone, and I don't know how to operate it properly. So I didn't check the box with only subscribers can comment. So that's why this is happening. And some of these comments, they don't make any sense at all. And I think I don't know what the bot thing, are there bots here? I don't know. Some of these comments, they just don't make any sense at all. So maybe that's the thing too. Like this Logan here, get to you are Pjorn. And it's like, well, check your spelling. Yeah, Ishan Singh says, I was born in the US and violence is definitely a problem here. Yeah. JG says, don't worry, just ignore the silly comments. Yeah. Yeah, there are lots of comments being held back for evaluation too. I don't know what's next. Tyrdam, good to see you. Good to see you. I would say if you see comments that are like, we should respond with violence, I don't think anyone will write that, but that will obviously need to be deleted. Yeah. Okay. No, I think I think that stoicism, is not the classical form of Stoicism, but using Stoicism as a tool is very helpful, and it should be actually be taught in schools as a way to teach, teach kids how to be responsible adult beings. What I do notice now, I'm Scandinavian, so we are very. Some people say that we do not show emotions. We have emotions actually, but we don't. There are positives and negatives to all of this, but I think what I'm trying to say, and to them, you can. I think you will be nodding now. When we see the people in the USA and also in Southern Europe, actually, but mostly like in the USA now, is we see people who just, it's like they feel something and then they act upon that with their facial expressions, with the volume of their speech, and so on. And I think that is not a good thing. There should be a filter. There should be a degree of being able, as an adult, you need to be able to put your emotions aside and then think about the situation and act accordingly. And someone saying here, bro, I'm not your bro. I'm not your brother. What does Charlie Kirk have to do with you? There's a little thing there, check your spelling, David. Scandinavian. Yeah. Should the same apply to the people in the USA? Because what I've noticed up through the years is that the USA deals a lot with and with the countries outside of the USA. I mean, they are obsessed with that, actually. Yeah, Eileen says what happened is just beyond horrible and disgusting. Yeah. Yes. My Cinema Gaming, there's a quote here, to kill a brave man, you will need a coward. Yeah, absolutely. Not saying that Charlie Kirk was a brave man. I don't know anything about that. David says LMAO, we got the grammar and then the NA set I word. Yeah, you didn't like that, did you? No, actually, David will. I would have just kicked you out of the channel, but let's see if I can do that. Oh yeah, I can do it. We will block you for half an hour. So that David can think about his ways. Maybe this is a teachable moment to him. Probably not. Probably not. Yeah. Charlie Kirk was not world famous, but he I would say just during the last few months, he is someone that some people in Norway have heard about. There is something to be said about, like Charlie Kirk did this, Sia Comter did this because he loved doing it and all of that. And I mean, come on, I don't know anything about that, but And this is as far as I will go about when it comes to speaking in a negative way about him. I could have said more, but I don't think this is time for that. But this was a job, okay? This is a advanced way. No, you do realize that these people receive money from very wealthy so-called think tanks, right? It, it's not like it's they are paid to promote a political agenda, right? So yeah, so don't forget that. OB says all conservative commentators should be on alert. I would say all leftist commentators should be on the alert even more, because it will inspire people on the other side. So, you know, um, uh, yeah, he had a very high net worth. And it's so here's how it works. Okay, if you are on social media, and the social media is king, that's what matters, and they go on these campuses and speak, but they do that only to get it on social media. They wouldn't care about doing that if it was not on tape and spread on social media. So it's just to harvest material to spread on social media. And there was this thing, exposed not long ago. The Democrats, they had this, they paid some quite famous YouTubers. There's one obnoxious guy. What's his name? His name is, I can't remember. What's his name? He's a very leftist guy. Sister talks about what he thinks about stuff. Leftist guy. His name is, I can't remember. But anyway, not Hassan, not Destiny. Yeah, doesn't matter. David Pacman, yeah, him and several others, they were paid. Some people say, was it 80,000? 80,000? Can that be right? Was it 8,000 or 80,000? I don't know. But apparently, at the end of the day, they got paid very well to be part of this think tank and so on. And they're claiming that they didn't get any talking points. It's just that they happen all to have the same talking points that they promote on social media. So here's, so they get paid. They get paid. So let's say David Pacman, let's say changed his opinion on something. You think he would be paid by that organization anymore? No, he would not. The same happens with the people, the talking heads on the right. And I think it's very dishonest. I think it's very dishonest to do that, because one thing is, if you're sharing your opinion, that's fair. But if you're paid to share someone else's opinion, even if it aligns with your opinion, and you don't disclose that to your viewers or listeners, you are being very dishonest. And it happens all the time. It happens all the time. And so this is big money. And this is a way that, especially in the USA, these, a two-party system in reality, and they pay to have this, to have their talking points spread on social media. They pay these people. And of course, Charlie Kirk was paid as well. Come on, of course he was. He was a megaphone for the Trump administration. So it's not like he went to campuses to have a civil conversation with college students. No, listen. No. It's to create moments that would be suitable, fitting for rapid spread on social media. That's it, Yeah, okay. Now someone says you're a complete fool. It doesn't matter if you said that to someone else here in the chat or if you said it to me. It's like you kind of proving the point here. It's kind of proving the point. And this is the level of idiocracy. This is the idiocracy that we are seeing in the USA. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, he dropped the Epstein case, like he was just reading from a memo. Yes, he did, from his boss, the orange man. But we'll get back to that maybe in the future, but not now. They were not on social media just for rapid spread of fame. They're in it for the money. Now, I'm talking not about Charlie Kirk only, but he was one of those. I mean, oh, I see. You think that he was speaking the word of Jesus, right? No, he was not. Okay. No, this was maybe it began as, I don't know, but listen, this is very much about money. That's how this works, okay? And we as adults cannot be that naive, okay? I'm sure he agreed with what he was saying. I'm sure about that. But also, the money is a big part of this. The money is a big part of this. Oh, human shop rag. Why are you people always anonymous? When someone puts... Why? What happened with the spelling? Jesus. When someone puts their life on the line to stand up for truth, you say it's all for money. That makes you a fool. No, it doesn't. I'm just being realistic, and I actually know how this system works. So I mean, go back to school or something, you know. Yeah, horror business. Good to see you. I did see you up there, and thank you so much for the donation. I made a mistake. You see, I'm using this device here. It's a smartphone, not used to that. And there's a box I usually check that you have to subscribe to the channel to comment, and I forgot, or I couldn't see that box. So everyone can comment here. That's what happens. Lucibra saying that you can put your life on the line for pay in many professions. That's true. Yeah, so also the chat is moving too fast for me to I don't know. It's moving very fast. Pinky Sue says, does Norway have school shootings? No. No, it doesn't. Oh, so here's the level. Yes, it does make you a fool, says James. J. Huh. What a stellar argument. What a stellar argument. I can't argue against that. That's just too brilliant for me. I don't know what to say to that. But anyway, in Norway, we had a very, very big tragedy. Breivik, the killings, Breivik, and I remember it. He was. No, I know a bit about Breivik actually, because I met at a party a friend of someone, a friend of a girl there, and he said apparently that Breivik had been sort of in the, the gay community somewhat. That's just what I heard, and he was there, and then apparently he went all far right and all of that, and he was a very disturbed person, and he killed a lot of people, as you know. So it's not true that if you make guns illegal, then you don't get gun killings. Now, guns are not illegal in Norway, obviously, but yeah. Yeah, I know the people, those people who can't spell or anything, and I shouldn't reply to them. I know. Normally, we don't get them here, because of what I said. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I do think that it certainly looks like the gun laws in the USA are much too liberal. It looks like that from the outside. and maybe do something about that. Maybe do something about that. Audrey says guns were meant for hunting. Yeah, you certainly shouldn't kill people. I mean, so, but obviously some guns are made to kill people. That's just how it is, you know. And I think humanity has lost when you start killing people, even though that's a trademark of humanity. We kill each other. It's just horrible. Every time it's a horrible thing. Everyone who is killed is or was someone's son or daughter. You know? And it's like, here's how I see it, okay? We can disagree on things. Let's say Charlie Kirk hadn't been killed and I met him here in the hotel lobby. I would have no problems having a nice conversation with that man. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? Because, you know, it's like we should have a society where people of all walks of life, as they say, can come together and behave in a civilized manner together, work together, and so on. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'll finish this live stream now. I just want to say to the people in the USA that when ideological leaders are killed, sometimes that matters more and it creates more violent change than when state leaders are killed. And Charlie Kirk will probably be seen as an ideological leader now and in the future. So be aware. You know, one example is like, you know, the caps, the MAGA, it says MAGA on the cap. I'm not ever going to say don't wear that. Not going to say that. But if you choose to do, be watchful and keep an eye on who is around you, because the extreme left, or those people, they might want to be violent now. They might feel that, no, sorry, I'm getting it wrong. First of all, yes, now I'm not getting it wrong. They will be inspired, okay? Some of those people will be inspired. Also, if you are on the left, now you need to watch out, okay? Because this will, I think that some people on the right might feel that this should be revenged and they should do that, okay? And those two things could happen all at once, if you get my meaning here. In short, some people might feel that using violence is justified now. Okay, so watch out. Now, nobody asked for my advice, but I'll give advice anyway. I would not take part in that conflict. I don't think any good can come out of that, so I would not take part in that conflict. Okay, let's see if we can end this live stream. Let's see. Okay, I think it's up here.